This is your sign to stop scrolling. Not because I say so, but because your brain is starving. You aren't lazy, you're just overstimulated. Your dopamine receptors are so fried from 5-second videos that normal life has started to feel like a chore. The modern world is designed to keep you in a loop of cheap dopamine. It's a calculated strike against your focus. The villain isn't your lack of willpower, it's a system built to harvest your attention. But what if you could hit the factory reset button? In the next 8 minutes, I'm giving you the 3-step protocol to reclaim your focus in just 24 hours. The moment you wake up, your brain transitions from delta and theta waves into alpha. This is a state of peak creativity and high suggestibility. But the second you reach for that device, you are shattering that window. You are flooding your brain with cortisol and dopamine hits before you even take in a breath. So, here is the protocol. The blackout lasts 24 hours. Your phone isn't just on silent, it is powered down and physically removed from your sight. If you use it for an alarm, buy a $5 analog clock. The goal is to remove the phantom vibration syndrome, that feeling where you think your phone is buzzing even when it isn't. You'll find that without the screen, time begins to stretch. An hour feels like 3. This boredom is actually your brain's baseline returning to normal. Warning: the first few hours will be painful. You will feel a literal itch in your palms. You will find yourself walking toward the place you usually keep your phone, only to realize it's not there. This is a good sign. It is the withdrawal of a modern addiction. Instead of filling that gap with more noise, no podcasts, no music, no background noise, let the silence sit. Observe your thoughts. This is where you find out who you actually are, when you aren't being told what to think by an algorithm. You are essentially training your brain to be reactive, to wait for a notification to tell you how to feel. In the digital void, we protect this window. We treat your focus like the most expensive resource on the planet, because in 2026, it is. By clearing the digital noise, you've prepared the soil. But to keep the reset from failing, we have to address your physical space. This leads us to step 2, the friction shift. Most people fail their reset because they rely on willpower. They think if they just want it enough, they'll stop the bad habits. But in the world of behavioral psychology, willpower is a finite battery. Every decision you make, from what to wear to what to eat, drains that battery. By 6 p.m., your battery is dead, and that's when the villain wins. Step 2 is a friction shift. It's about moving the battle from your mind to your environment. You don't need more discipline, you need better design. Friction is the resistance between you and an action. To kill a bad habit, you must maximize friction. If you find yourself snacking on junk food, don't just try to stop. Throw it out or put it on the highest shelf in the garage. If you want to stop the infinite scroll, leave your charger in the kitchen. That 20 feet of walking is the pause your brain needs to switch from autopilot back to conscious control. On the flip side, we want zero friction for good habits. If you want journal, leave the notebook open on your desk with a pen already on top of it. Your goal is to make the right choice, the easiest choice. Your brain associates spaces with habits. If you work in bed, your brain doesn't know if it's time to sleep or time to grind. During this 24-hour reset, redefine your spaces. Clean your desk until it's a sacred zone for focus only. When you walk into a room that has been optimized for your goals, your brain automatically shifts into the right state. You aren't fighting yourself anymore. Your room is doing the work for you. Now that you've cleared the noise and fixed your space, you're left with a choice. Most people reach this stage and feel empty, so they go back to their old habits just to feel busy. This is where the deep anchor comes in. In psychology, there is a concept called the competence loop. When you do something difficult and succeed, your brain releases a surge of natural dopamine. This isn't the cheap dopamine from a like on photo. This is the earned dopamine of a hunter who just caught his meal. It satisfies you deeply. You've cleared your desk. You've locked your phone. You're sitting in the silence of the digital void. But here is the hard truth. The void is not enough. Nature harbors a vacuum. If you just sit in an empty room, your brain will eventually get desperate for stimulation and you'll find yourself negotiating. You'll say, maybe just one quick check on email, or I'll just listen to one podcast. This is why most people fail. They focus on what they are removing, but they forget what they are building. To seal the reset, you must anchor your new focus into a difficult, high-value task. You need to move from the static of the void into the flow of the anchor. Choose one task, not a to-do list, not a bunch of small emails. Pick the one project that has been sitting in the back of your mind like a heavy weight. For the next 90 minutes, you are going into a deep work state. This means no music with lyrics, no snacks, and absolutely no outside world. Set a timer. The first 20 minutes will be a struggle. This is called the transition phase, where your brain tries to resist the effort. But once you cross that 20-minute mark, you enter flow. This is where time disappears and your best work happens. When the timer goes off after 90 minutes of pure focus, look at what you've done. That feeling of accomplishment is your new anchor. It proves that you aren't the person who just scrolls and dreams. You are a person who executes. You have successfully moved from a spectator to a creator. This single 90-minute block is the seal on your 24-hour reset. It's the proof that you have reclaimed your identity. If you're still watching, you're part of the 1% who actually finishes what they start. Committed if you're doing this tonight.